One of the newest faces in the conference, not around the game of college football, but here in the Mountain West and here in town, too, in Vegas. Barry Odom, head coach of UNLV. Coach, we'll start with this. You were a head coach in Missouri. You were a defense coordinator at Arkansas. What made you, what was attractive about coming to the Mountain West and coming to UNLV?
Number one, thanks for having me on the
Absolutely.
show. I really appreciate it, and honored to be part of the Mountain West Conference. When I've been in coaching now 20-plus years, there's always jobs and maybe opportunities that you think and you kind of look, if that spot comes open, there may be interest. Mm-hmm. This was one of those for me. And then when it got closer maybe to that happening, the leadership of Eric Harper really, to me, set the thing in motion. I believe in him. I've known him for a number of years. I understand his vision on how he's going to transform our athletic department, and he's been, on the job a little over a year. We've got a lot of similar beliefs in what we believe and know that this program can do and will do. So it started there, honestly, with that in place. And then when I look at Vegas, there's one in the world. This place should have a successful football program, and I want to be the person that consistently gets that done. So opportunity, alignment with the athletic director, all kind of check the boxes for me on trying to get after this job.
It's interesting. When you don't live in Las Vegas, nationally you think UNLV, Jerry Tarkanian pops into mind, men's basketball. Even Coach Kruger now has been pretty good. But from a facility standpoint, you're in the upper echelon in the Mountain West Conference. Yeah. How surprised, well, not surprised, but how appreciative of you for the enhancements they have made so far to support football?
It's unbelievable. You look at, we play in Allegiant Stadium. There's not another college team in all of America that can say they have a home like that. The Fertitta family complex is as fine and great of a football facility as there is in college football. Mm-hmm. You walk into that building, and it's our day-to-day operations center for our team. Academic resource centers in there, our dining hall, weight room, locker room, meeting space, coaches' offices. Once a student-athlete gets there, they don't have to leave. They're there for the day, which is unique. And then we're undergoing some facility changes now in redoing our practice fields, and those will be done by the time we start on August 3rd. So there's a commitment to making this program an elite place, and I think we can get that done.
Mm-hmm. Barry Odom, head coach at UNLV, with us here in studio. You, like many of the rest of the knuckleheads in this conference, are going to Michigan. So you guys, I don't know what is wrong with this conference, but we'll get to that in just a moment, Coach. But you're a defensive guy, right? Your last stop being at a defense that you did not want to play at Arkansas. That is for sure, Coach. You go out, initially it was Bobby Petrino. He leaves to go to Texas A&M. And I know Sean knows him on a personal level. From afar, I am fascinated by Brennan Marion, your new offensive coordinator. Young guy. You look at his most recent stop. He was at Texas. Xavier Worthy goes through the roof there. He's going to be an All-American this year. Prior to that, he was at Pitt. Has Jordan Addison win the Biletnikoff. And then I think that the most interesting wrinkle, maybe even in the entire conference this year, is that Brennan Marion was the offensive coordinator for Howard when they came to Vegas, and based off of point spreads, this was one of the biggest upset in the history of college football. So what is this UNLV offense going to look like under Brennan Marion?
I'm excited about what he's done to transform that side of the football. Football IQ off the charts, understands how to put playmakers in position to get the ball to them, but then also is able to attack different defensive structures in a number of ways. We've got to be able to run the football, number one. Is that quarterback run? Yes. Is that handing the ball off? Yes. Is that running the power game? Absolutely. Is that getting the ball out to the perimeter and an extension of a toss? All those things are getting yards in the run game. We've got to be able to do that, and it starts up front. Coach Marion has got a great way of putting guys in place all over the field to try to find ways to get them the ball. So I'm excited to see how our offense continues to evolve. It's going to be based around our quarterback and Doug Brumfield starting off in the season. He's an elusive player out in space. He has worked tirelessly on the vertical passing game, the RPO world. That's all going to be part of what we do. And then Coach Marion's got a way of every week building the offense to cater what we need to have a chance to win a game.
I've seen him clinic on it's the go-go offense, right?
That's
what
the
he calls
go-go.
it. Yeah, I've
That's what
seen
he
him
calls
clinic. So it's definitely a run-first system, but it really specializes in getting your best players the ball in space.
That's right.
Which I think ultimately, when you get on the bus after a game, you can attest to this. If your best guys got opportunities to make plays and it wasn't good enough that day, you can live with that. But it's hard, when you got special players and they don't touch it. You brought up Doug Brumfield. When he's been healthy, he's been outstanding. What has he done nutrition-wise, strength and conditioning-wise to kind of make himself a little more sturdy so that he'll be available for the entirety of the season?
Yeah, you hit it. He's got to be available. He's got to be durable. There's going to be times that, because we do quarterback run game, he's going to take some shots.
Right.
Okay. Now, we've got to be smart with how many of those called plays we have. Doug understands the value of there's times you're going to have to get out of bounds. Eliminate some of those unnecessary shots. I had a chance to be on the staff years and years ago. We had a quarterback at Missouri named Brad Smith.
Remember?
Brad was an unbelievable player.
Receiver for the Jets.
And he was able to, we did a lot of run game with him, but he was able to eliminate and never really take a direct blow. So some of that comes with experience. Doug's also gained about 20 pounds since we started in January. He's bulked up a little bit. We've got to protect him up front. We're going to be smart on how we call it. And then Doug's got to do his part. Once a play breaks down, he gets out into open space, be smart with how many shots we take.
What do your playmakers look like this year, Coach? Because, when there's a coaching change like what happened at UNLV, it's sometimes it's an opportunity for players to look what's out there. And Aiden Robbins, goes to BYU. Kyle Williams goes to Washington State. So a lot of production at the skill positions exited. Nick Williams just exhausted his eligibility. So what should we expect outside of Brumfield from the playmakers, for UNLV this year?
Yeah, I think you look at our running back room. There's some guys that we recruited from the high school ranks, but also some transfer guys, and then guys returning from the roster that we're going to have an opportunity that it will be by committee. I do think we've got a couple of guys that may separate themselves as we get going there and running the ball. I think collectively the wide receiving core, Ricky White will be the guy that everybody points to. He's got a lot of meaningful snaps. He's a productive player coming back. He had a great spring. And then the guys on what that looks like by committee, Jacob DeJesus came in, junior college transfer, had a tremendous spring. Can create some good mismatches. So I think it'll be fun to watch how this evolves through fall camp. I think we've got enough weapons. We've got to find ways to use them within this offense to be able to use the skills that they've got.
It's interesting. Offense puts butts in seats. Defense wins championships. Coach Odom is here because
Preach to him, right?
of his ability to create great defenses. New coach, obviously open competition at every position. Yet there are 7 returning starters from last year. Jalen Dixon was a standout. Even though you lose last year's leading tackler, what are your expectations for this unit? Not necessarily in game 1, but after game 13, when the season's over, what do you want to say we got accomplished defensively?
I think the way you look at it, there's been times I've been part of really good defenses, and we've hit measurable stats. We've hit things that make us a really good defense, and those 6 to 7 things, when we haven't hit those, we haven't been very good on defense. And it's amazing, analytics, stat, all the things. If you don't give up explosive plays, you make an offense drive the field. You're opportunistic in getting the ball back and creating takeaways. You find a way to play on their side of the line of scrimmage, tackle for loss, harassing the quarterback hits. If you are hitting in those areas, you're going to be a pretty good defense. Now, it all starts with not giving up explosives. As soon as you start getting bombed and you give up a 20-yard play here, a 17-yard there, a 32-yard, you lose the structure of your defense. So number one, that's our focus, playing extremely hard together, finding ways to get the ball back. And then now, as offensive teams have evolved and coaches, you got to be really good on 3rd down, but then 4th down, right? Because 3rd and 7 used to be, hey, get them to 3rd and 3 or 4th and 3, they're going to punt the ball. That normally now means go.
Right.
So we've got to be really good on 1st down, get them behind the sticks, which makes 2nd and 3rd down a little more manageable.
About a minute and a half left. Unique state Nevada is. Really, Las Vegas is the one city that does have widespread high school football. I actually called the high school game of the week, so I've seen the talent in the area. How have you been received by the local high school coaches?
I've been honored that they've embraced me. And since we got the job in December, it's been my focus to recruit the city. There's 36 schools here that we're really, really focused on trying to get those kids stay home. And if we do that, we'll win a championship.
Well, I'll just say this. I know there's a lot of excitement. Nico Fertitta is on your staff. He played at Notre Dame. I'll just say this, Coach. Don't let him teach tackling. I think his time on the field, he had like 45 personal fouls in his like 53 plays. He hit hard.
He coaches and works the way that he played. All out, great effort.
Go on YouTube, look up. I think he was special teams only, and you knew where he was. He was out there laying the wood. Well, I was going to mention the schedule at Michigan week 2. Best of luck there against a team who went to the college football playoff. But Coach, that's the MO of this conference. Everybody's testing themselves.
Yeah, it's a solid schedule. Our focus through fall camp will get as good as we can for that week 1 opponent in Bryant, and then it's a 6-day sprint to the next game to get ready to go play our best every single week.
Head coach of UNLV, Barry Odom. Thanks so much, Coach.
Go to VSiN.com/subscribe to become a VSiN Pro subscriber today.